Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast. I'm Abby, and today I am coming at you from a new place in a not so small town. I am in downtown St. Cloud, where I have just signed the lease for a brand new studio space. And I'm sitting in it right now. That's probably why it sounds a little echoey and strange. I'm using my mobile microphones and I don't have anything in this space yet. It is just the table that my dad made for me, and I finally have a place to put it. I had my dad make me this table a while ago, and I finally have a home for it, and it's currently the only thing in that home. But if you're watching the video version of this, this is the new Abbey Graves Productions podcast studio. And I'm trying not to cry saying that out loud because this year has just been such a ride. I couldn't imagine that last year at this time, the last week of the year, I'd be sitting in my podcast studio space that I get to kind of do what I want with. And it's just wild. So I thought it'd be a good way to kind of wrap up the year with the last Small Town Tourist podcast episode happening in the next step in this journey. It's been a wild year. So let's take a look back on the year 2024 because it feels like it happened in the blink of an eye, but it also happened January 2024 seems like it was a billion years ago. And I'm recording this on December 26th, 2024. So this year started out in January. I was working, my full-time job was Stearns County, doing the Small Town Tourist on the side, making podcasts for other clients on the side as well. I had big dreams and big goals. My three-year plan, I'm going to say that again, 3-year plan. I wanted to go full-time with my podcast production business in 3 years, and it happened a whole lot faster than that. So that was the plan, 3 years, full-time podcasting, doing my DJing stuff. I had some weddings booked. I was excited. January came and went. I don't remember anything crazy happening. I helped Liz with the Flower Farmer Forum conference, and then February rolled around and we went to Arizona. We went to the Waste Management Open, which was so fun. We went with my mom and my dad. There's a whole episode of the podcast dedicated to that you can go back to. And then after that, in March, we went to Galveston with my friends. And on that trip, I don't know if my friends felt like this. If you guys did and you're listening, let me know. But I don't know. I just felt like that trip was a real wake-up call for me that it was time to do what I wanted. And I know that I had so much work to do to get to the place that I'm at physically in this space as I record this. But I was willing and ready to put in the work. And that trip was a good eye-opener for me that, you know what, life's short, let's just do it. And I put a plan in place. Once we got back from Galveston, I put a pen to paper, I wrote out my goals, and my plan was to go full-time in my business by June of 2024, which gave me about 2.5 months. I decided to expedite a 3-year goal in 2.5 months, and I did it. I freaking did it. It's kind of ironic right now. As I'm recording in my space, I can hear the bells toll from the Stearns County Courthouse where I was working at the time of putting this plan into place. And now I'm sitting in my own space adjacent from there. But my plan into place, got through the month of April, knowing that the end of my time at Stearns County was coming to a close. So I did a lot of work in preparation. I really wanted to leave it better than I found it, and I feel like I really did. I put a lot of work in to make sure that the person who had my role after me was prepared and had the necessary documents. I put in my notice. I gave a whole month's notice. So all of the month of May, it was kind of doing that transition to get the next person ready to cover for me, and I went all out and I launched. Well, it was already going, but I went full in and committed to Abbey Graves Productions, LLC. And summer was incredible. I think it was probably the best summer that I've had in a very long time, just because I was so happy with this newfound freedom of entrepreneurship. Yes, the stress is crazy. Yes, it's high risk. Yes, it's high pressure. Yes, everything falls onto me as the only person doing it, but it was still the best summer ever. I did end up losing one of my clients on the very first day of being self-employed, but it's okay because you know what? There's always going to be other opportunities and other avenues to travel, and it's okay because she's doing great too. So I'm very proud of all of the clients that I had this year. Summer consisted of a lot of wedding DJing. I think I DJ'd every weekend in the month of June. I had some July weddings. August was really busy with weddings as well, but I actually really like being a wedding DJ. I never thought I would. Like I always thought, I don't really want to do this, but now I'm going into year 4 of being a wedding DJ, and it's so much fun. You get to be the party on someone's best day of their life. Like who doesn't want to do that? Probably a lot of people, but I really enjoy it. So wedding DJ was really good this year. A lot of lovely couples, a lot of new friends, a lot of old friends getting married. And I even have expanded the wedding DJing side of things in 2024. In October, I ended up investing in a photo booth. So in addition to DJing, I can also offer photo booth packages as well, which is really fun. Like, again, who doesn't want to be fun and entertaining and have a blast and turn that into a business? It's just, I've built a life around everything that I love and goofing off and having fun, but it's truly so enriching. I am just so happy and content in life right now. And I understand that like not everything with entrepreneurship is going to be sunshine and rainbows. I'm not delusional enough to think that. But I've had a pretty good run so far. And even on my most challenging days, it still lights my butt on fire, for lack of a better term. My one friend at the radio station, Min, one point, it was years ago, he's like, you got to do what makes your butt tingle. I don't know what we were talking about or what we were doing, but that's always stuck with me. And what I'm doing right now really makes my butt tingle. So I'm super excited for what 2025 has in store. But fall, let's get back to recapping the year. So summer was a lot of weddings. Fall, there was quite a few weddings as well. Hunting season kicked off with a huge bang. I ended up getting a black bear on opening weekend of bear hunting in Minnesota. It's super crazy experience. I never thought, like I thought bear hunting this year, I'm like, I'll go out and hang out in the woods with my dad and we'll have a good time like we always do. And we ended up getting a bear, and it was so cool to have that experience with my dad, do that together. It was scary. There's a lot of trailing involved, and we couldn't see anything, and we didn't know where this bear was or if it was dead. And it was such a fun experience to do that with him. And then let's see, that brings us to like late September. It was a lot of weddings. We launched 2 new podcasts in September with Abbey Productions. We started working with the Indie Foundation, which is a nonprofit here in central Minnesota. They help support cancer warriors as they battle cancer on their journeys. And then we also launched, the exact same week, we launched the Love Story podcast, which is with Ashley Green from Green Them, Etc. She runs the Love Story Wedding Expo in St. Cloud. So we have people come on and share their love stories. And that has been so much fun. It's so cool. I work with so many incredible people. Everyone's podcast is so incredibly different. And that makes my job so fun because it's never the same thing or even similar things for anyone's content. And there's just so much insight that you can learn from hearing other people's stories, especially when you're elbows deep editing the audio and video for them. So it's been really rewarding to work with all of my clients this year. Amanda Radke, Liz Fiddler-Mergen, Megan May, Adele and Summer from Babies on Broadway, Kyle Sheehan from the Splitting Hairs podcast, and so many others. It's just been a really rewarding year for me personally, me as a business, me as a human. It's just been an incredible 2024. And I'm so grateful. So last year, if you've been listening that long, I talked about running a small business making and selling dog bandanas. And in September, I ended up selling that business. I sold a business this year, guys. Like insane, right? So sold that. Nicole and Wyatt took it over from Riverwood Grooming, and they have turned it from Minnesota Mutco into Midwest Mutco. And if you're looking for some just really cute, high quality dog bandanas, You got to go check them out because they do an amazing job, like even better than I ever did with it. So I know I left the business in the right hands, but that freed up my time this winter for not doing craft fairs. I don't know how that's going to be perceived, but craft fairs, if you've never worked the craft fair circuit, it is so intense. Not like in a retail pressure, like I worked at the Mall of America over Black Friday. Like that's intense. This is a different kind of intense because when you're working the craft fair circuit, you're probably hand making all of your materials. So you're prepping for that. Every free second is spent making your products, tagging your products, posting on social media about the next craft fair, loading into the craft fair, setting up, running it, tearing down, driving home in an ice storm. Like it's intense. So this year I didn't have to do that. That freed up all of my holidays, which was so nice because there was a lot of hunting to do over the holidays. Unfortunately, no deer for me. Everyone else in my family had a great season. I did not, but it was still good to be part of everyone else's hunting adventures this year with dragging and all that's telling fun stories, making food, hanging out. I actually did the math. I stayed in Long Prairie more days in the month of November than I did at my home. So there's that. And then December of 2024, I've just been plugging away, working at making sure all of my clients are well taken care of with Abbey Graves Productions. And just last week, I was sitting with my client, Ashley, who runs Green Thumb, and I was talking about some bigger goals that I had because I had wanted to hopefully find a studio space to run my podcast out of because I have a lot of clients that I record with in person. And I just wanted something to be easy for them to come to me, basically, if they chose to. I'll still go to all my clients. If they want me in their space, I will be in their space. I'll be wherever you want me to be. That's the magic of Abbey. But long term, I saw myself having some sort of permanent space where people could come and I could work with them on their podcasts, on their videos, any sort of thing like that. And we were just chit-chatting about it, and Ashley just like kind of looks at me and she's like, hold on one second. Calls her landlords, and next thing you know, I am being shown this space. And I don't know, there was just like, it all happened so fast. So it was kind of a blur because I was not anticipating looking at any sort of location. And they opened the door to this place, and it was just a vibe, like a good vibe. Like, you know, like when you're looking at wedding venues, or I felt this when I went to my college for the first time, like you just walk in somewhere and you just feel at ease. Like, yeah, this is good. And I saw this place and I had that feeling. And now I am the proud tenant of this new studio space. Wild, just wild. So yeah, now again, a long-term goal got rushed on accident, kind of, but I mean, right place at the right time. This is the right place and it's the right time. And Abbey Graves Productions has a home that isn't my basement. I mean, I'm still very proud to work out of my basement, and I'm still gonna be doing a lot out of my basement, but I have a spot where my clients can come if they need a spot to interview someone or film a short video or just have some sort of formal audio setup and video setup that they can use and better their content. And I'm just baffled. I'm speechless and I'm babbling because holy crap, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. Full send in 2025. I have been calling 2025 my grind it out year. I think this is going to be a very busy year, and I've never been afraid of hard work, and I really want to set myself up for success in 2025 and 2026 and beyond, and it's going to require some grinding it out, and I am here to grind it out. We're going to do it. We're going to furnish this space. As you can see, it's literally just a room. Excel Energy sometimes classifies it as a closet, so I might not get an electric bill all the time. But we're gonna make some dreams happen in 2025. So if you have had a calling on your heart to make a podcast, get in contact with me because we got the space to do it now. And if you're not local, I can help you with that too. I have clients that are across the country. So ready to make some dreams happen in 2025. I just want to thank you so much for listening to The Small Town Tourist. I know this year it has been far from consistent on the posting schedule, but that's because I've been really trying to make some big dreams happen. And now that I have a permanent setup somewhere, it'll be a little bit easier to record as well. But I just want to thank you for all your support. It means the world to me when I see those 5-star ratings, when I see those comments, when I see you interacting on Instagram and on TikTok and on Facebook. I am truly grateful for the community that we have built with the Small Town Tourist, and I can't wait to see what we explore in 2025. So thank you so much for listening, and we will chat soon.